I figured the messier, the better. What else does Reddit have in store for me today? Did I grab your attention? I sure hope I did. Welcome back. If you're new here, nice to meet you. Today, we are going over Reddit posts. Why, you ask? I don't know, but you guys love it every time I do, so if you would like, leave a thumbs up down below as it helps me with the algorithm on YouTube. And I really like that, so it's up to you. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. I have my Spawn of Satan right here in my hands, and this is what I'm going to be using to look at Reddit. I am recording on my phone. I am broke. I am so sorry. Okay, am I the a-hole for asking my wife to look for a job after I already agreed that she wouldn't work for a year? My wife and I got married 2 years ago and have been together for 7 years. She gave me my 2 fantastic stepsons and 6 weeks ago blessed me with a daughter. Now, our daughter was planned. I wanted at least one biological child. She told me at this point that if she were to have a baby, she would want to stay home for at least the first year so she could exclusively breastfeed, and I immediately agreed. We were in a good financial position. We had money stashed away in multiple different accounts. So I did agree to this, which probably does make me an a-hole. But our finances are not doing so hot anymore. It's not even her fault. My brother stole $25,000 off of us, got a hold of me and my wife's joint bank info somehow. I am pressing charges, but lawyers said this could take months to even be put in front of a judge. I cannot make this work on just my own income anymore because we were only left with $3,000 in the bank account and our rent is $2,800. Dang. So I asked my wife to look for a job and I explained why. She immediately said, "I f***ing hate you," and walked off. I was able to reapproach it later. She locked herself in the bedroom crying. And she said she is rethinking our marriage now because the one thing she asked for is that she gets to stay home for a year. And now I'm asking her to send her kid off with a complete stranger and give up exclusively breastfeeding, and she is sickened by me. She said she never would have agreed to have a baby with me if she had known I would have backed out of our agreement 6 weeks in. Said that my brother stealing thousands from us is completely something that I need to fix on my own because it's my family, and if I force her to work, she will 100% divorce me, no question. Am I wrong in asking her to get a job? She will barely speak to me now and won't look me in the eye at all. Cries a lot, but I literally cannot do this financially without her. Yes, she gets child support from the boy's dad and it does help out, but not as much as I need. Okay, so what I'm hearing is, was the money your wife's and yours, or was it mainly yours then? Because that kind of dictates this a little bit. I'm cold. I'm putting on a sweatshirt quick. I grabbed my beans shirt. If you haven't gotten your tiny merch yet, go check it out on our Instagram. This is my personal favorite color. I did it all in like strawberry colors though. So there's burgundies and there's also a couple of other shades of reds. Just a little shameless promo there for me and Tiny. I can promise you cute merch, but I cannot promise you that it will be covered in Tiny's hair like mine is. Okay. Alright, where was I? I was planning to dominate the world, yes. No, I was doing a Reddit post. No, whether she works or not, that's a really big dictator on like whether, because like if it was her money that your brother literally stole, like that's a, but if it's like your own money and she's just like living off your income, you know, I feel like that's, in retrospect, of course you want to be able to actually breastfeed your child. That's like an intimate thing between a child and its mother. Breastfeeding is really good for creating a bond between a mom and her baby. It's kind of a big deal, you know? The first thing you do after a baby is born is you see if it roots. I don't think that's really much of her to ask, especially if it's her own money that was stolen from this bank account. Like, of course it was his, but it was hers too, and it's his family. I don't know. I just think that's sad. Let's read the rest of the post and see what's up, shall we? I am balancing this on a strawberry pillow so you guys can see the laptop too in the frame. ETA, I don't know what ETA means. My wife's reaction was not bold. I wanted a child. She told me for easily 3 months straight her only stipulation was that she didn't work, and straight up told me before even getting pregnant that she would never forgive me if I backed out and changed my mind about her staying home for a year. 90% of the money that my brother stole was money that she worked overtime for. Oh no, yeah, It's not even half of his, half of hers, it's literally hers. That's crazy. Overtime money? Nah. Just to ensure that she did not have to work for the baby. Oh my gosh. I don't even blame her. She begged me and warned me not to back out on it, given that if it was her only request, that's exactly what I did. She says I'm just as untrustworthy as my brother, and part of me feels like that's true. I didn't keep a good enough eye on my brother, which is how he even got a hold of our bank info. It was in my wallet that I left in the car when he was in there one day. That's messed up. I don't think that you're untrustworthy, otherwise she wouldn't have married you in the first place. I think she's just hurt and she's lashing out on you. But in retrospect, you are a dumbass. But how would that, even if he has your bank info, it's not like there's like some sort of like identity thing, you know? You go to the bank and you ask to take money out and they ask your social security and like a couple of other questions. Which I guess maybe his brother would have the answer to, but I am so sorry. There's a bird outside my window and my cat is going feral right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty intense out there. Now she is suffering because of my family up. I'm at a loss, but no, she's not being bold, insensitive, or rude. She warned me, and I did the exact thing I promised her I would not do. $25,000 is only what we had saved for the bills. We have separate accounts saved for each kid. My brother and I are twins. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? Despite not technically being identical, we look a whole hell of a lot alike. He took my info, he went into the bank and withdrew/closed out the account. He didn't have my ID. The bank asked him my security questions and the last four of my social, which he knows. Handed over the money to him immediately following and closed my whole account out. I didn't even know until my paycheck couldn't be delivered. I called the bank to ask what the holdup was. They told me that I closed the account 4 days prior. I argued it. They showed me the surveillance feed to prove I did it, and it was my brother. So he's getting sued, like the brother is getting sued, like they're gonna be drowning in money. So like, I guess that doesn't really matter, but like, that's wild. Am I the only one here that thinks that something incredibly suspicious is going on? Additionally, his pregnant wife worked overtime so she could stay with her infant, and now he wants her to get a job. That was her one non-negotiable term. I feel awful for his wife. The last bit makes me wonder if this is made up. If it isn't, that's wild. But the last bit is confusing to me. Additionally, his pregnant wife worked overtime, so it's the same situation on his side, and they're identical. Well, not identical twins, but they're twins. That seems sus. Yeah. But check out my beans merch. Okay, on to the next one. What else does Reddit have in store for me today? Can't wait. So just a little like background. I don't read any of these beforehand. I just like to look at the titles and anything that catches my eye, I put in these videos for you guys. So I don't know, I read that and I thought it was wild. I, 27 female, recently went on a Tinder date with this guy, 32 male, who works at a nuclear power plant. Seemed interesting over text, but the actual date turned into a complete nightmare. He shows up about 45 minutes late, no apology, and just starts bragging about his job as a shift leader in the control room. His attitude was really off-putting. He talks about having power over midgets and vermin, and by that he means people in general. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Which was really disturbing. He ranted about how he hates everyone he sees and how he wanted to cause chaos and destruction. I tried to steer the conversation to something else, but he kept on fixating on his job. Then, things got really worse. He starts bragging about knowing how to trigger a reactor core meltdown, laughing about it like it's some kind of joke. I couldn't tell if he was serious, but it totally freaked me out. It seemed like he was getting a kick out of the idea of using his position to cause a catastrophe. I ended the date early, went home, and couldn't stop thinking about what he said. Was he trying to impress me in a sick way, or could he really be dangerous? After a lot of thought, I decided to report him to the FBI. How do you report somebody to the FBI? Do you just like call them up on speed dial and just, hello, I'd like to report something, please? How does that work? I figured it's better to be safe than sorry, right? But now I'm second guessing myself. Some friends think I did the right thing, but others say I should have just ignored it since he was probably joking. Can't shake the feeling I might have overreacted and potentially ruined someone's career over a bad joke. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for reporting my Tinder date to the FBI? First of all, I don't think that he actually can do something like that. I think he just liked the reaction that he got out of you, as well as the attention. I think he might just be a weirdo, realistically, especially if you met him on Tinder. No, I've met some really weird people off Tinder, honestly. Always goes for a good story, though. Hydration. And for our last post. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister to accept her daughter is white? I figured the messier the better. Grab people's attention, yeah. Both me, 33 female, and my sister, 27 female, are Caucasian Latinos. However, she's always been more tan than me, a fact she's always been very proud of. For reference, my skin is close to Aubrey Plaza's, while hers is closer to Gina Rodriguez's. While we were younger, she would constantly talk about how European I looked compared to her. How my skin always looked more blonde than brown, which no one ever really agreed with, and how certain colors I liked looked awful on me due to my skin tone. She sounds like she's projecting. I almost never said anything because I was 6 years older and had better things to do, rightfully so. Also, while I did have many insecurities, I'm so sorry, my cat is eating. Also, while I did have many insecurities, I never doubted I was beautiful. Rightfully so. Good for you, honestly, like, it's hard when you have a sibling tearing you down, but I'm glad that you stayed true to your confidence, because I'm sure you are really beautiful, and a lot of the time that's what it comes down to, unfortunately. It's not like people get jealous if they see a pretty girl, you know? But in retrospect, I think that everybody's beautiful in their own way, and when you start to accept your beauty instead of tearing people down negatively, like looking at others, like taking that energy away and putting it towards yourself, I feel like you just start to get a lot happier. Because not gonna lie, that's how I was in my early teenage years, especially. And then I grew up a little bit and I realized it's really not that serious. Fast forward to now, we both have kids. My husband is a little more tan than me, and both our children, 8 male and 3 female, have the same skin tone as their father. My sister's ex and baby daddy, however, was a very pale Swiss guy. If she doesn't like pale skin so much, then why did she have a baby with a guy that's pale? Make that make sense. My niece, 5 female, is a fair-skinned girl with dark blonde hair, while my daughter is more tan and has dark brown hair. Everyone agrees that both girls are beautiful, but their skin tones have always bugged my sister. That's sad. She insists that both girls are equally tan, that her daughter's hair is light brown, and that my daughter spends too much time in the sun. I had to get up because my cat was eating part of the wall. No, that's sad though, because if she's projecting like that, then her daughters are gonna end up hating those same features that they see in themselves. Because it's like, if your mom's constantly telling you that she dislikes something in you, then obviously you're gonna learn to dislike it yourself. That's just how that works. That's really, honestly sad. Last weekend, we all had dinner at my father's place. My son brought his notebook and showed pictures of everyone at the table. He colored my daughter's skin a darker shade than my niece, orange for my daughter, light pink for my niece. He also gave my niece yellow hair and colored my daughter's hair black. He lost his brown pencil. When he showed us the drawings, my sister frowned. She said he was exaggerating his cousin's features, that he could at least make her hair darker. When my niece said she loved the drawing, my sister told her it looked nothing like her and insisted my son was doing this on purpose. Wow, they're crayon colors? In retrospect, it's literally skin tones too. Your skin tone does not define where you come from. It's your skin tone. Just because you're on the paler side doesn't mean that you can't be Latina. That doesn't make any sense. There's tons of Latina girls that are still on the paler side, you know? It doesn't mean their family isn't their family. It's still... I don't know, like her whole concept, the whole like tangent that her sister is going on is just weird. Before the kids could get upset, I pulled my sister aside and told her she was being ridiculous. We had a very small fight in the next room. Near its end, I said something along the lines of, "Listen to me, your daughter is white, we're all white, you need to accept that and stop comparing the girls if you don't want niece's name to be insecure." Which is literally what I was talking about earlier, like, that's crazy. If you really were that worried about it, then why did you go and have kids with a guy that was on the paler side? Like, obviously it doesn't really bother her, it's just like a whole, like, she honestly sounds kind of like a narcissist. Because why is she on this like whole tangent? Why is she like having like a god complex about her skin tone compared to her sisters? Or maybe she's just projecting because she's insecure about her skin tone, either or. Like I said before, it's not that serious. Point blank period. You do not need to make these kids insecure about themselves. And if you're that insecure about yourself, maybe you shouldn't be having kids in the first place. We left shortly afterwards, and none of the kids have brought up anything again. My sister is pissed at me. My phone stopped recording for some reason. She told both of our parents about the fight who are divorced. Our father thinks I shouldn't have commented on my niece's appearance and wants me to apologize to my sister. Our mom thinks this is dumb, I agree, and says my sister is overreacting, which I agree with. I think the whole thing is stupid. I think she needs to get over herself is what's, yeah. I definitely don't think you're the a-hole though. Like, honestly, that's kind of unfortunate, especially since your kids are gonna be around it growing up. And like, what if her kids end up projecting that onto your kids? Not cute. Not cute for anybody. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like I said before, leave a thumbs up down below. Consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content by moi. I hope you have a good day, guys, and I will see you soon. Alrighty. Bye.
Look at you. You're such a naked girl. You got nothing on.